Introduce yourself, man. What's your name? How long you been in ecom? Take us through it, man.
Yeah, so I'm Adam. I'm originally from Slovakia. I'm 19 years old. Been doing ecom for about 4 years, so it's been a bit of a longer journey. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure like which route to go, but I started off with kind of like copywriting initially, and then moved to ecom and started with dropshipping. It's kind of like a funny story because the reason why I started with dropshipping in like the first place was because two of my high school friends, they were gonna start dropshipping as well. So I was like, let's just do a challenge. I kind of knew a bit about it, so we did a challenge of like who gets the first sale, and that's where I kind of began. Took a while for me to kind of get something going. I think like until I got the first sale was about 3 months. Tested a bunch of products until I was able to get profitable. It was about 6 months. Yeah, then like a long journey in between. So yeah, that's kind of what about me, I guess.
How old were you when you started?
16. I just turned 16, I think.
The 16-year-old from Slovakia getting into ecom.
It was like mainly because yeah, I knew that I wanted to do business. Like I knew that I didn't really want to go the standard route when I was like younger. Didn't really have plans to start early, to be fair. But I knew that like I didn't really want to do college. I didn't really want to like work a normal job. One reason was because I just saw like I looked around myself and I saw that everybody was like their whole life was just pretty much paying off debts. Like that was the whole premise of their life. So that's kind of like what got me in the mindset. And then like Andrew Tate popped off. So I joined Hustlers University and did copywriting. That's pretty much what I did. That's how I started. And then yeah, then I kind of knew about dropshipping a bit from like TikTok and Hustlers University as well. And then got into it.
Been ecom for 3 years now. So you got your first sale like after 3 months. What were you doing after that?
Initially, I got the first sale after 3 months. Then that product like didn't really work out. And back then I was doing TikTok ads. I wasn't even like doing Facebook or anything like that. It was just TikTok ads. I was recording the ads myself. Yeah, and tested a bunch of products, probably like 20, until I was able to find something that like was actually profitable. Then ran that for like 3 months. Made a bit of profit, and eventually it like quote unquote died out because I was just not good at marketing, and like the creatives that we had that were performing just died out. So that was that. Then I came back to like did a bunch of tested a bunch of products again. Didn't really work out, and funny enough, then I came back to the same product, tested new creatives, and it started working again. Then I kind of transitioned a bit and I just focused on this brand and I tried to make it a brand. And then I also went into like Facebook and started focusing more on Facebook. That's where like I saw a bit more success. So I remember that like end of 2023, we did like a million a month in November. So that was pretty good. Main things that helped me was joining a bunch of communities and being around people that like have already done it, and also joining mentorships. I remember I joined like Alex Chen's mentorship and it helped a lot. So shout out to him. Then like with this brand in 2024, so the year after, we did fairly well. There were like a lot of issues with the brand, supply chain issues, and overall I was just not seasoned, and I kind of stepped out too early, to be fair. I was just focused on like leadership and admin, but the team wasn't dialed in. So eventually like marketing was not good, and I was overly relying on one creative strategist, and there's just no direction, and it kind of fell off. And then like during that time, I made a lot of mistakes with the team. And like a big one for me was that I had a lot of like, how do I say it? Like sunk cost fallacy. It's like I held on to the brand for too long, even though it was like literally unprofitable. Like I was getting sent P&Ls every month that were like minus 50K, and I just avoided looking at the fucking email. And then eventually ended up in like a 6-figure debt with that brand. So cut it off at that point because obviously it wasn't going to work out. And the reason as well like why I was holding on to it wasn't just because I was stupid, but it was like I thought that because we had big November last year, we just needed to kind of wait it out, set up the systems, and like launch new products. I was literally launching new products that were like cost of goods on those products were like 3 times higher, but it was like branding. I was focused on branding, but not really like direct response. And I thought that, okay, we're just gonna wait it out, and in November it's gonna skyrocket again. But like November came and we're still unprofitable. So at that point I had to cut it. Then went back to kind of testing products.
This is like end of 2024 now.
End of 2024. That's where like supplements kind of started to come up. And one of my friends, he kind of got me into that space. And I saw that he was doing very well with supplements. So started testing supplements. And I was already kind of had a bit more knowledge because I ran the brand before. So I wasn't testing like as many products as before. Probably tested about 10. And with that, I was pretty much able to find a product that nobody was really running, and it had like a very unique mechanism that wasn't really tapped at that point. And like it was a very logical one, very easy to understand. And it was actually real. People were actually seeing results. So that's kind of where I started that brand. And yeah, ever since then, still running it. It's like my main focus, and it's going to be the main focus for the next 2 to 3 years. And yeah, eventually, like, the goal isn't necessarily to like exit, to be fair. It's just that like if there was an opportunity to exit for more than 150 mil, then I think we would exit. But if there's not an offer for that or more, then we're just going to run it. And eventually, like the plan is to build kind of like a portfolio of health brands. So that's pretty much it.